local resource extraction sites come in low and I believe it was hazardous varieties. Low res is probably a good spot to go if you are not an experienced pilot. The places to go and kill NPC pirates sort of escalate from the nav beacons, which tend to have very low skilled pirates, to low resource extraction sites which have medium low enemies. Ones that are just labelled resource extraction sites, which would be the next step up usually, although it's highly variable. And then you go to where I'm going, to a high res site which has bigger ships and a more complex environment. And then if you're actually good at this game, which I'm not really, certainly not in a crap ship like this, you would go to a hazardous resource extraction site, where again there are bigger ships with higher skilled pirates and more challenge. But the difference between the three lower types of hazardous resource extraction sites and the Haz-Res is that the three earlier weaker ones, you get the assistance of the system police. So in this place it's probably these guys, the Democrats of LTT, are probably the system defence force that will appear in this resource extraction sites, but they do not appear in hazardous res, so there is no assistance from the police. And that is where a beginning ship, remember this is basically a beginner sidewinder, can make serious dinero. So I've been faffing about for, let's call it 2 hours now. I do have the money to have purchased another ship, but I've chosen not to. I have partially upgraded this one. But after the first mission I could have come here and done this instead. So that first 90k mission that I did, upgrade the frameshift drive to get somewhere faster, upgrade the distributor so that you recharge quicker, and that's probably all you really needed. E-rated shields are crap. I think I've got D rates on the moment. They're still crap, but the idea is that you don't get shot. So crap shields doesn't matter, crap armour doesn't matter. Okay, now we're flying past. That's actually a gas giant in the centre there with some rings, and right there is a resource extraction site, but I'm not going there. First of all, I'm going to Yaping Dock, because then if I do happen to stuff up and die here, or collide into an asteroid or something stupid, then my respawn will be back here at this place. So I'm going here. The facilities are pretty poor out here. I don't believe there is restocking, for instance. So as a base it's pretty crap, but it's not far from Haxelport, which is much better. If I quickly scan things around here, an anaconda, python, yeah, type 7, dodgy little hauler, but I don't believe any of these are players, they're all NPCs. You can see it, but over on the distance indicator on the left, this one requires me to be within 1 megametre, whereas Haxelport was 8, nearly 9 megametres. That is actually pad 1 and I can't see from this angle. No, it's not, it's number 2, damn it. one. So it's right on the far side again.
Landing gear deployed.
There's my landing pad, and again I've come in around the wrong way. Who cares? Alright, refuel. Let's go and be fully kitted out. Yeah, so restock's not available here. So if you're equipping kinetic weapons that have actual ammunition requirements, you can't reload them. I've got a dual laser spec at the moment, so that doesn't trouble me too much. Extraction market, which means it would be making lots of minerals and stuff to sell. So trade from here would be viable for something like a T6. Let's see if there's any particularly juicy missions. Nope. Definitely not. 12 and a bit light years for... I would have been tempted earlier, but I'm not right now. That's one of the donation messages that I said, if I had more money I would consider donating there, because then that would improve your faction reputation and probably also the superpower reputation, which would then in turn give you access to better missions. But I don't really have 125k just to throw away at this point, or the 200. They come in 25,000 and 50,000. I think they've been 75,000, so like if I was flush with cash, I'd pay that with no trouble. I probably wouldn't bother with that. That's usually my cutover. You can see a comparable mission. One single mission will give you that much money. So it's not really that much in the scheme of things. Yeah, not going to happen. These methanol monohydrate, this is a mining rush for an ice ring. So you have to go to icy rings and then mine that, but again, not worth the hassle. Certainly not at that price. If these two happen to be going to the same place, they might be worth doing in a decent sized ship. Like a T6 would have room for both of those. That's the best part of 300,000. Potentially for a single delivery. Pepinut brownie. No, different planets, but assuming they were the same, it would be worth combining the two of them. Individually they're probably not worth it. But you can also check against the different factions that give it to you, because like these guys might have a mission to that planet and these guys have one. But no, there's nothing here. So I'm going to go back to doing what I came here for, now that I've actually landed and set this as my base by landing. I am now going to check out. Okay, so there's a high res, a second high res, a low intensity res, but I believe it is that one that I need to check. The other one is fine, but is often in the dark on the thing. Now I'm going to set my filters and get rid of planets and landfall, because I don't need them. It's a bit less crap in the way. Excess mass. Have I got something on board? I must have been paid with something. Oh no, 0 out of that, so I've got nothing. What's going on? The excess mass thing, I think is because I've got a full tank of fuel. If I had only half a tank, I'd probably be able to make it. is the resource extraction site that is only 2.5 light seconds away. The gas giant there. The orbital lines are not showing because I'm not in Super Cruise. Get out of range of this damn base.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
And there you go, orbital lines kicking in. I don't want to travel too fast because I've already skipping past it. Actually want to go a bit steeper so I can see. I believe this is in the shadow, so this is the wrong one. Let's choose the other one. Hurry up. Oh no, that's in the dark as well. That is not fun. Oh well, go for this one. They're both in the shadow. What poor timing. I don't know which one's going to come out earlier. This one looks like it might be a little bit lighter. Flying in the dark into the rock fields is not the greatest idea, and this is, I believe, a rocky asteroid band. To see, but there are actually asteroids down below me here. I am up on the top right there showing as impact, because if I keep going in the direction I'm at, I'm going to smack into some rocks. So dropping out, and sure enough, there's the rocks. Pretty hard to see. More or less immediately I've got various craft jumping in. Asp Scout, he's probably just a miner. Yep, he's clean. Vulture, he's probably not clean, but I'm not going to take him on alone, that's for sure. Yeah, deadly. Not my best idea. It's not a D scanner, it's a K scanner I'm looking for. Now I haven't got a kill warrant scanner, and I'd have to be a lot closer. I've got my lights on, it's not helping much. Alright, so that guy over there, both of those guys over there are mining, and that vulture that I'm tracking is probably going to head on over and we'll do shooties against these poor innocent miners. Okay, an adder. That's basically similar to a hauler. He's probably just a miner. Hahaha, federal dropship. Now that one will be worth significantly money, assuming he's a bad guy. Oh, a fight is going on. Yeah, see, he's worth what, 91,000. But there's no way in hell I can shoot him by myself. He outguns me by about 50 times. Diamond Black Explorer, he's wanted, okay. Aha, now there's the cops, Federal Security Service, but I think he's getting most of it. There's only one cop against a wing of 2, so...
Target shields offline.
Okay, he's wanted. Shields of weapons. God, where is he? I'm going to miss my chance. Okay, so I've tagged him. And 36,000. Oh, shit. That's what you don't do. I just crashed into somebody really quite nasty. I believe that was the security service Anaconda. Not really showcasing my flying skills so far, am I? There's the vulture I'd scanned earlier. He's wanted. I just hope he's involved in shooty with the cops, and it looks like he is.
Target shields offline.
Okay, so he's been... Oh no, will I get there in time?
Target dropped.
Okay, so there you go, just got in on him in time. That guy's wanted, hopefully these guys start shooting him. Because I reckon those guys will be the cops. Yeah, Federal Security Service. And at this stage they're showing up. Because I'm not allied with any of them yet, they are not marking. Aha, there's combat. Good. See who he's shooting at. That's my friend, the dropship. So I just hover here until he's... Oh, God, don't go to that. Stay out of the flight range, you idiot. Okay.
Target shields offline.
What is going on?
Frameship charge detected.
Okay, so he's trying to jump out. That's the frameship drive detected. But there you go.
Destroyed.
I've got about 5 more minutes in here and then I've hit the 2 hours on this recording, so it will probably be time to go back. Ah, damn it. Viper, he's going to either be the cops or he's wanted. No, he's allied. That's a security service, might as well flag him down anyway. Four of the cops in a wing. There's an eagle. Federal Anaconda. Another Federal Anaconda. So I wonder who's they shooting at there. Unfortunately, he dropped out of my range. Possibly he was doing a bit of a stealth job to get away from the cops. That might be what he's doing. Or it's just my shit scanners. Bad guy in an adder, and what's he worth? 29,000, so yeah. Better than some of the missions I was opted, but not great. Lost track of where the adder's gone, but that's my coppers. There's some shooty. A python. Now this is going to be some fun. Okay, I don't think I'll get in range of him before he's blown up.
Target shields offline.
Okay, he's tagged. Come on, get in range of him. The anacondas are on him. Oh, my sound files are corrupted out.
Target destroyed.
Okay, so that's the python. Still got full shields at this stage, so I certainly don't want to be shooting at him just yet. When his shields go down, I want to jump in at the end. So what's he worth? Yeah, 142,000. Not bad. So his shields are being slowly stripped. He's in a wing of 2, so there's another one of his friends somewhere. Just want to stay within range. Damn it, he dropped off a heatsink to get rid of that. I think he's using shield cell boosters because his shields went back up. Come on, you anacondas, blow him up. Okay. Now on a big ship like that, you can see he's fired chaff, so my targeting's going all over the place. 50%. Come on. Tagged him just in time. The Sidewinder wanted. Almost not worth the effort at this stage. He's probably worth about 10 grand at best. Yeah, 4 grand. By the time I target him and they shoot him, he'd be popping. Alright, might be time to pack it in. Now that nobody's after me. Yeah, 400k for doing very little. Lock back to that one. Oh, there's more shooties. Ah, that's worth shooting at. That. It's an Imperial Clipper. Oh, come on, on, get in range.
Frameshift charge detected.
Careful not to get too close to him because there's he's got turret weapons, I believe.
Target shields online. Target cargo dropped.
100,000. Okay,
Target destroyed.
not as worthwhile as I thought. But there you go. That's just increased. I'm over 500k now. That's the Sidewinder. Ooh, now that is worth getting. Fertilance. Okay, come on, coppers, pick in him. They probably won't. He's wanted, but he's of the same. He's in the Democrats of LTT, which I believe is the System Defence, same faction. Yeah, see, they're the Federal Security Service and LTT, 15547. The Fertilance that is wanted. Anyway, let's see what he's worth. Yeah, 200,000, 213,000. But unfortunately the cops won't shoot him, I don't think, because they're the same faction. And I won't last long enough to survive starting the fight myself. Come on guys, shoot him. Scan him guys, scan, scan, scan.
Scan detected.
The cops just scanned me, but I'm keeping my nose clean. Yeah, they won't shoot him because he's allied. Dang it. The Fertilance is a very heavy fighter. It's probably the single best individual fighter ship in the whole game. The Federal Corvette, which requires a massive amount of grind to get, is a much better fighter, but it's ridiculous to get it. The Fertilance is at least achievable. I just hope they shoot it. Come on. No, they're not going to. Damn it. Right. Okay, now I'm above the plane of this, but if I just jump facing it, I will probably face plant straight into the rings. So I'm going to tilt myself on an angle. Full engines.
3, 2, 1, engage.
So, by my clock there, I think that's about 20 minutes in the high res. And that's about 300, nearly 600,000 in effectively the starting Sidewinder in 20 minutes. And I'm going to do a loop of shame, damn it. Yep. Yeah. I think I've only nailed one of the landings I've done so far in this whole recording.
Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Okay, so I've picked up 600,000 near enough in bounties. And to claim them, you have to land at a base, usually in the same system where the bounties are applied, but there's an exception to that. And then you, in Starport Services, go to Contacts, and there it is, there's the bounties, just shy of 600,000. Got rid of them all.
Incoming message.
Okay, so I've probably sold off enough that the local main faction is probably going to put me on cordial instead of being neutral. There we go, nearly 800,000 in cash. On some systems the exception for this is that there's a interstellar factors is an option, and they allow you to sell your bounties or pay off your fines at respectively a 25% discount or a 25% tax to get rid of the balance, and it's often worth doing rather than travelling all over there to sell it. Combat bonds are for when you shoot other ships in a combat zone, a conflict zone rather, such as those series of missions I was looking at earlier where there were like 3 missions to kill 6 ships. You would go here to the combat bond. The bonds for each individual ship are pretty low, but collectively it can be quite a lot of money. Okay, and black market, if I had any illegal black market stolen goods or something that couldn't be sold otherwise. Refuel. There is nothing to restock. Go do my advanced maintenance again. Don't have to do it every stop like I'm doing, but it's habit. Okay, check the missions quickly and then I think it might actually be enough. It's actually just gone 1 o'clock my time AM, so it's time to wind it up, unless there's a delicious mission. No, rubbish. Delivery of equipment, nah, not worth the effort. A couple of those missions I think were to the same places. But, you know, I'd have to do 7 of those missions to even catch up what I just did in 40 minutes. No, 25 minutes in the res zone. So definitely shooting in the res is worth more than doing this for the moment. Anyway, that is enough for the evening. Good night all.